Hi there, this is part 2 of our chair yoga for the legs. We did feet and our hamstring stretch on the number 1 video. This is the number 2 video. So if you haven't done the number 1 video, I would recommend you go and do that one first and then follow with this one. So finding your way onto your chair and seated comfortably, come back to your breath, come back to your inner awareness. Take a moment. And having already warmed up the feet and the hamstrings, we'll now move on to the fronts of the thighs, the quadriceps. So we did the back of the leg. Now we're going to do the big muscles on the front of the thighs. And to do this, we will turn side on onto our chair. So if you have arms on your chair, it's not going to work. You're going to need to find a chair without any arms. So sit side on to your chair. The back of the chair is now on my left side here, and sitting with your right butt cheek a little bit off the seat of the chair, and then we slide the right leg, or the leg closest the edge of the chair, away from us. If you're struggling to reach the floor with your front foot, place a block or a book or a box of Tupperware or something underneath that front foot, and that will help you be able to push into that front foot. So sliding this back foot, this foot away from you, and looking for a stretch on the front of the thigh. And your thigh might be here. That's okay, as long as you can feel a stretch on the front of the thigh of this leg that is closest to you here, and that you're feeling a great stretch. You may even feel some stretch into the front of the hip. That's all good. Love that. Nice bonus stretch into the front of the hip. Sit up. That will deepen the stretch on that back leg. You can leave your hands on your front knee to help you with support. Press down into that front foot and keep breathing. Good. 2 more breaths here. Nice. And then relax that leg. Come back to center. Take your block with you if you need it. I don't really need it, but if you feel like you need to help your legs be a little longer, bring it with you. And then turning the other way so we can work on the second leg. Make sure you feel nice and secure on the chair. Please remember that the chair should be placed securely on a non-slip surface. Moving this second leg back, sliding the foot back behind you until you find a stretch in the front of the thigh here. Push down into that front foot. Hands can stay on the front thigh. Sit up, nice long spine. Take a few nice deep breaths. Keep breathing. Toes on the back leg can be tucked under, or you can bring the hairy side of the toes to the floor if you prefer. Whatever works for you. 2 more breaths here. Good. Relax. Come back to center. Notice how the 2 legs feel. Good. We'll work into the sides of the thighs now and into your glute muscles, into your butt muscles. And you may want a low footstool or a block if you have problems crossing your ankle over your thighs. So if you can do this, go right ahead. Be careful with the knee. We don't want any knee pain. This is all about external rotation of your hips. So there's no knee involvement with actually doing this, but if it causes you knee pain, then please don't do this. The option will be to place your foot on a low footstool or something, or maybe on a block. Ideally, you bring the foot to the opposite side. So here you can see my foot, it has gone a little bit past the foot that's on the floor, and just leave the foot there on the block. Okay, and you can have that height of your block or whatever you're using as low or as high as is comfortable for you, but just have the leg out a little bit in front of you. Again, make sure there's no knee discomfort. If you can bring the ankle to the top of the thigh, all well and good. Either way, we then come forwards until we can feel a stretch around the outside of the thigh and into the buttock of the raised leg. It could be that you don't need to come forwards very far, but as you stay here, just breathe and relax. Relax both legs, and have a smile. Relax the facial muscles too. Keep breathing. Notice what you're feeling. You don't have to come forwards directly to the center if you want to explore taking the upper body to one side or the other. Go right ahead. Just make sure you stay nice and secure on your chair. 2 more breaths here. Good. Relax that leg down. Move your block, if that's, or your footstool, to the opposite side if that's what you're using. Placing the foot on your block or your footstool or whatever you're using. Maybe an upside down recycling box, I don't know. Or a cardboard box would work as well, nice sturdy one. And if you can take the ankle to the thigh, go right ahead. Remember, no pain in the knee, please. This is all about getting a stretch in and around the hip joint. Come forwards to your comfort level. You want to feel something, right? We can only make change by feeling some sensations in the target area. So only you can decide what feels like a good healthy stretch. And if this feels too intense, then modify in some way, taking the foot to your block or a box, modifying the shape some way, but making sure that you can still feel some sensations on the outside of the thigh and into the buttock. Now, I have had people tell me that this shape is a stretch for the hamstrings, and that may well be, and I'm not disputing that at all. I just consider that to be a bonus stretch, really. All the stretches will grab you where you're tightest. So if you have particularly tight hamstrings, then maybe it will grab you there first before it gets into the abductors and the glute muscles on the outside of the thigh. So be okay with that. 2 more breaths here. Good. Come back upright. Release your leg. Notice how the 2 legs feel. Maybe some blood flows, some sensations, some tingling. That could be chi flow. All good stuff, all health inducing. Okay, we'll finish with an inner thigh stretch. So see if you can take your feet a little wider to outside of the legs of your chair, maybe not as wide as this. Turn the feet out a little bit. You may want to place your feet on blocks or books so that you have a little better connection with the floor. And then we come forwards until we feel that inner thigh groin stretch. So that is the area that we're trying to get into. And again, maybe you don't come very far forwards at all. That's okay. You decide how far you want to take this. Keep breathing. Inner thigh groin stretch. I don't care what it looks like, as long as you can feel some stretch on the inner thigh and groin of both legs. 2 more breaths here. And then come back upright, release your legs, bring them back to center, notice how they feel, sit up tall, let the sensations settle. And we have now, between the 2 videos, worked all the big muscle groups of the legs. So, good stuff. I hope you enjoyed this practice. Thank you for joining me.